Yao Ming was a big influence from the NBA becoming popular in the 2000s. In the 2000s, rising stars like Yao Ming, Kobe Bryant, and Tracy McGrady tore apart the league. He was a big part of China becoming interested with the NBA and thus earning the NBA money. Although he was a 7'6" big man, he was craftier than other bigs in the 2000s. He had a reliable mid-range jumper and was of course a dominant post player. But foot injuries forced him to retire, only playing 8 years in the league. Today, we will be looking at Yao Ming's career and how he changed the game of basketball. Born on September 12, 1980 in Shanghai, China, he loved the game of basketball the moment he was born. His parents were over 6 foot, so that allowed him to become the 7'6" giant that he is today. When he was 12 years old, young Yao would be in the gym practicing for multiple hours a game, and in the 2000 Olympics he joined the Chinese team and finished 10th in the Sydney Olympics.
With the first pick in the 2002 NBA draft, the Houston Rockets select Yao Ming from Shanghai, China, and the Shanghai Sharks.
When drafted in 2002, he became an instant icon in the city of Houston, making the All-Star team in his first year as it was voted by the fans and everyone loved Yao Ming. From this point on, in all 8 years of his career, he made the All-Star every year, and I think was a starter every single year. He was an unanimous All-Rookie first team and led the Rockets to a 43-39 record, barely missing the playoffs due to the hard Western Conference. However, this was improvement as they won 15 more games than the last season. In his first year, he averaged 13.5 points a game, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and played all 82 games. In his second year, he made the playoffs, and however lost to the Kobe and Shaq Lakers, who eventually made the NBA Finals. There, Yao averaged 15 points and 7 rebounds. However, in his third year when big changes were made, there they traded Steve Francis for Tracy McGrady. This was to get Yao Ming a second star to be very competitive in the Western Conference. There, T-Mac was very unhappy about Orlando as they were last in the Eastern Conference and thus received Dwight Howard. So, Tracy McGrady requested a trade. In the end of the season, they won 51 games, but Tracy McGrady's first round curse continued as they lost to the Mavericks in 7 games. In the 2005 to 2006 season, this was the start of Yao Ming getting injured. This year, he stepped up his scoring to 22 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks a game. But, once again, only played 57 games due to an infected big toe that he was forced to get surgery on. This took him out for most of the end of the season. His co-star, Tracy McGrady, also averaged 24 points a game, but only played 47 games due to injury. There, because of the stars of the Houston Rockets being injured, they only won 34 games and missed the playoffs. This was a very disappointing season for the Houston Rockets because their team looked very good on paper. In the 2006 to 2007 season, the Houston Rockets came back hot, winning 52 games. Yao had his best statistical season, averaging 25 points, 9.5 boards, and 2 blocks, but once again, only played 48 games. When Yao Ming played, the Rockets won a lot. However, when he was injured, which was a lot, the Houston Rockets went on a lot of losing streaks. This shows how important Yao Ming was to the Rockets. The injury that he had was a fractured knee. This was basically the injury right before his big leg injury. There, they lost in the playoffs to the Utah Jazz with prime Darren Williams and Carlos Boozer. Then, however, in the game, they blew a 2-0 lead. In the first 2 games, they blew them out, but in Game 7, they lost by 6 points. But in a heroic effort from Yao. However, both put up in the first round. They both put up 25 points a game, Yao and T-Mac, but the team around them was awful. The 2008 season to the 2009 season was the last healthy season for Yao Ming. In that season, the Rockets won 53 games and lost 29 games. However, a brutal leg injury against the Lakers in the playoffs was the main part of why Yao Ming retired so early. T-Mac also got injured in the regular season, so he was out for the whole playoffs. Without them, when Yao Ming was in the first round, without T-Mac, they made it to the first round, defeating the Brandon Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge Blazers in 6 games. However, when Yao Ming got injured in Game 4, they lost to the Lakers in 7 games without Yao Ming, their All-Star. This injury finished off Yao Ming's career. In the next season, Yao Ming did not play in the 2009 to 2010 season due to this horrible leg injury that ruined his career and forced him to retire. In his last year, he only played 5 games, averaged 10 points, but for some reason the fans still loved him, it makes sense, and was still an All-Star. There, he announced his retirement and was only 30 years old when he retired. He made the Hall of Fame in 2006 and is now the Chinese Basketball Association owner. Yao Ming's off-the-court impact impacted the whole game of basketball and how China loves the game of basketball now. Now, many Asian people who love America love basketball, use Yao Ming as inspiration to make it to the league. Yao Ming was an 8-time All-Star, a 5-time All-NBA, and a first-team All-Rookie. So how good was Yao Ming actually? Well, Yao Ming was a dominant player, but falls in the category of injuries destroy their career. So yeah, that's gonna be the video. Thank you all very much for watching for how good was Yao Ming. If you like the content and want more, then subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. Now I'll see you all next time.